Welcome to the Super Meeting podcast. My name is Nick Rao, digital marketing coach here at Nexstar, and today I get to act as your podcast host as well. I am joined today by two esteemed guests. Super excited to have them here. We have Jason Ashman from Scorpion. We have Sarah Ghirardo from ServiceTitan. Jason, can you give us your job title? Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, sure. So I guess my official job title is Senior Director of Partnerships at Scorpion.
Ooh. What's your unofficial job title?
Pretty official, right? A lot of words. I started about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and I head up all of our partnerships right now at Scorpion, from our associations to our big partnerships with ServiceTitan and everything in between. And it's been awesome working with partners like you guys and ServiceTitan.
Yeah, it's been so wonderful to work. So Sarah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I work at ServiceTitan. I am the director of pro content, which people are like, what is that? I basically run content for adoption and utilization. So I train the trades in marketing and AI. And we work on email templates that you see in the product and direct mail templates, plus just a bunch of other cool content to help us really come together as a community and learn marketing as fast as we can.
Yeah, that's awesome, because I know adoption is something that we are really kind of working through right now. The trades is something where, well, some experts, I was at this AI panel last week that was talking about how the trades are going to be least impacted of all the kind of big industries, but that I think that's giving a false sense of security that like, oh, we don't need to learn it, like it can't take our jobs, but it's like, no, there's so much more there. So the adoption seems to be something that we're really trying to push for right now. Yeah,
most definitely. And I think that they are thinking in the terms of, well, people replacement. Right? Mm-hmm. And really what they are not educating on is, well, how can we do our jobs more efficient? How can we create systems just like we do, in general? How do we create more systems and processes in place that are faster so that we can move forward at a faster clip?
Yeah. Yeah, like it's what we're seeing over here on my side is like it's making our people smarter and more efficient what they're doing. From like planning campaigns or activities or ads, stuff like that. It really just makes them more powerful, I guess I would say.
Got it. So tell us a little bit more. Tell us the things that are impacting your world today. Like, how are these new developments in technology and AI, how is that impacting you either day to day or in like your job at Scorpion?
Yeah. So in my day to day personally, right? So just so everyone knows. So on the partnership side, I actually use AI a lot throughout my day, from fact checking like stats and reports and data, helping to automate that stuff, to helping with decks and presentations and things like that. Mm-hmm. But from the business side of the marketing side of Scorpion, it really just is woven into our fabric of our platform, our technology, and our people as well. And so every element, every step along the way of working with us or working together, whatever it is, we're trying to think about what's happening tomorrow. And so putting that hat on for a second, like if you're thinking about yesterday, and when it comes to anything like digital, that is, mm-hmm. from a platform to marketing, anything that's digital, you're already behind. Mm-hmm. And so we're trying to take this forward, like looking forward, like mentality of like, oh, like what's going to happen tomorrow? How can we utilize AI today to influence decisions for tomorrow, from campaign development to content creation to creative development, and weaving that into all of our systems and processes makes things go a lot smoother, a lot quicker, and a lot more efficiently.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that it's really turning people into visionaries, because you can have AI do, for example, in my day-to-day, AI is with me everywhere I go. Yep. It writes systems and documents and content. I actually run an 80% AI team and 20% human in the loop. And that means that we've created agentic experiences within the internal systems to help produce content at scale faster for, we have over 40 different trades, right? Mm-hmm. And so how do you create content like that? Well, you have to scale it. You have to automate it. You have to agentify it. Yep. And so we're constantly thinking of, what does that vision look like? And asking ourselves the hard question of, what does scale look like? And always living by, I love to say that we live by the Ricky Bobby quote of, if you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah, love it.
We are always first. Whether we fail forward first, whether we iterate fast, whether we learn, like everything is a learning phase. And I think you have to stay curious and open. And that's what the culture that we create with the vision inside of ServiceTitan, that's how we go about our day. It's what's next, what's not of tomorrow, what's not of our competition, because everybody's going to be doing something different.
Yep.
What is the tomorrow that we can bring in today? And thinking about how we're driving that with our new system Atlas, where it brings the whole business together in an orchestrated journey. Like, that's AI.
Yeah.
Like that's what you want it to do. You don't want separate tedious tasks being taken care of. You want the whole ecosystem to be looked at.
Totally. Because and I want to know more about Atlas, because I know it's like this super powerful tool. Like, you named it after holding the earth on your back for a good reason. But I mean, I know for myself, it's even just like, there's so many tools and there's so many things coming out, and like even when AI was fresh, they're like, oh, here's this website that tells you all the new AI tools that are coming out. There's 30 a day.
Right.
And I'm like, great, I'm never going to be able to keep up on this,
Keep
even
up.
as though like that's my job. It's so hard to keep up with it. And like, so for me, it was a little bit of like, okay, what are the things that I need to do today? Like, what are these pieces? So like when Search GPT first got launched, it was so interesting because like I was like, I'm going to make that my default search engine. And I did it. And I was like, man, Google has trained me hard to search in the way that Google wants it. So it's been a long time of me slowly trying to just get my head around, how do I use these new tools in the most effective way? And so it's been a little bit of a slow adoption that way, because it's just been hard I can't take 30 new tools in a day, but I can take one and start practicing with it. So how does that kind of sit with you guys? Am I normal that like this is a big deal? Like, is that what you guys are seeing with others?
You're absolutely normal. It's overwhelming, all of the technology, all of the noise that's coming at us, but we're marketers, we're used to that, right? We have a fragmented customer journey with so many tools that we use, and it's hooked up to our customer data in weird ways, and it's like, how do we get the data back to us? It's the same thing with these AI tools. They are fragmented right now. They are in journeys that we're, as a consumer, unable to really be like, I'm great at this one and great at this one and great. You can't be great at everything. That's gross. No one wants that. But you can pick one, focus, and be like, cool, who's winning in this space, or where can I win?
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important. You're right, the search has shifted into a conversation. What we trained Google on a long time ago, it trains itself with our searches, our new searches. And so we have to think about like, okay, what does that look like? There's just so much, like, a marketer's brain is, I can't even turn it off. It's like 5 million tabs and in one browser experience, right? And like, that's insane. So
no, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, you can't, like, it's jack of all, master of none, basically. So you got to pick your corner, pick that sandbox, and go deep in that, right? So there's 30 today, 600 tomorrow, whatever it's going to be. Figure the 5, 10 you're going to be really, really good at and go deep on those.
Yep.
And like, that's where you're going to focus on. That's where you're going to optimize. That's where you're going to grow. And that's going to be your expertise. And that's the value you can drive to the businesses you work with.
Yeah. And I love that, because it fits in a lot with like kind of the same thing we do when we talk about super meeting, is that like when members are here, it's like, look, you're going to learn about so much. And if you go back and try to implement all of it tomorrow,
impossible.
It's going to fail.
Right.
Like, so yeah, it's really about taking home, what are those diamonds, those little nuggets that are like those things. If I could do that and that would improve my business meaningfully, even though there were 100 other things. So I love kind of what you're saying about, you really need to dig and find those ones that are most important to you.
Right, and it's going to differ based off of the business. Some businesses are going to be like, hey, I really need to focus on getting my email marketing campaigns off the ground. Some will be like, I really need to focus on organic stuff. And so it really depends on the business needs and wants and where they are currently at, and figuring out how to go deep on which categories for AI tools.
Yeah, because one of the ones that I'm seeing, and I know that this is a big deal right now, as AI gets more and more pervasive, I guess is a word that you would use, but just included, into our world, that we're looking for ways to build that trust again.
Yeah.
That it is allowing for this world in which anybody can create at such a high level, which is on one hand amazing and on the other hand scary. So like, there's some pieces in which I know that we are like, this is definitely can build trust, and this is where we're still kind of working it out. And we were talking a little bit about video as kind of one of those places. So tell me what you've seen in that.
Well, I think like video is great because it builds authenticity when you use human faces, right? People love to see dogs, babies, humans like do weird things, ASMR. I think that really what I want to emphasize is that a lot of times when we're in these home service business or we're marketing to businesses, commercial businesses, we're thinking about, okay, well, I have to make a performance out of these videos. They can be faceless. Like you can monetize and play the Google game backwards, right? And so what I really want to emphasize is that AI gives you the ability to create these videos at scale to open up a whole different stream of recurring revenue. And so I want you to not just think in of today of what I do as my job, but take video to the next level and play the game of being a content creator that's faceless. So it doesn't take up your technician's time, or it can, if they want to continue to do that, they can be the creator as well. But think outside of the box. And that's really what I want to say with video. Like trust comes in providing valuable content, right?
Yeah.
And authoritative content, but authentic content. People love watching weird things. Like, I mean,
No, I 100%.
My TikTok feed's filled with them.
Oh yeah, don't get me started. Like authenticity is huge, and like UGC stuff, right? That's where it really comes from. You've seen that person actually doing it themselves, and I think there's a time and place for everything. So, utilizing like AI to streamline video creation and scripts, all that stuff, and post that on an ad or an email as like a follow-up newsletter, whatever it is, to get people excited about your brand and your story, who you are. Awesome, huge. And then from my perspective as well, like again, we are an agency, so we have a full-on production team.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal. And so there's different scales of business that need different things. And so even our production side, we can start weaving in post of AI tools. Like, hey, we need to add in another layer or filtering or logos, whatever it is, imagery, things like that is also useful over there. And so layering AI through the smallest ones, the largest ones, it's so beneficial and impactful.
I think also we don't want to forget video is a part of search.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to become a gigantic part as we become headless in our search, which means there's going to be no search bar.
Yeah.
And the content is automatically going to be generated for us and selected for us. But what they are going to show the consumer is video and images.
Yep.
Because why? Because that's what marketers have created, instant gratification of serving content that's fast and understandable, but also optimized to video and images, right?
Yeah.
They've been telling us for a long time, go video, go images.
Yep.
Well, this is the reason why. Because they are saying, well, we have learned that you digest this content easier.
Yeah.
And so now that's what we're going to serve you when it comes to a non-search bar search.
Yep.
Right? So there's a lot to the video part about it. It's about extra monetization. It's about reoccurring revenue. It's about brand building. It's about trust. It's also about the new way of search. So like all of these things are just there to really spark the conversation of where you can take video next and images and everything. And so that's what you should pay attention to.
It was really eye-opening for me, actually, just like looking at this stuff. I would go into Google and I'd search for something, and the first things that pop back would be like YouTube Shorts, for example. Like, oh, this is a real thing. It was like so wild to me to see.
Yeah, and Google said that at their conference.
Yeah.
They were like, they were like, if you can't spend in PPC because it's too expensive, oversaturated, go to video. We're saying, but then it tells you, Google is also saying that the whole page will be monetized and for them, and that you need to play the game. And so they're telling you where to play as a small business.
Yep.
So pay attention to that.
Yeah, and I love some of our members have been using like that first step into AI. Again, what's that easy kind of way to ease into it has been utilizing it to create these like marketing plans and what is the content I need to put together. Yeah, maybe not everybody has the skills yet to create this beautiful commercial that is trustworthy, that AI built in video, but at the very least you can use it to come up with like, hey, what are those ideas that I need to be executing on? So that way I can spend my time not thinking of the ideas, but executing on those ideas. And then once you get to that point, okay, then I can take the next step on how can I make the execution easier. So definitely each one of these themes, like each one of these steps is a step in the direction to really kind of take you further down that path of building that trust and being able to, like, as we're kind of focusing as the attention of the event, that owning the market, and being able to do that. So the thing that I don't want to get lost though in that, and me again as a digital marketing coach, I don't want to lose the heart.
Right.
We've been talking a lot, even from when AI was first introduced. I remember the first conference I went to, they had talked about, like, you got to do what they called the AI sandwich. And it's like, use AI to help you with ideation and use AI to help you clean it up on the back end. But you got to be the meat in the sandwich. You got to be there. There has to be that human element in the middle that, like, shapes it into what's there. So talk about that. How do you feel that the heart can continue to play into it in the world of AI?
Yeah, most definitely. So I was at a conference and the godfather of AI said, AI needs a mother. And what he was saying was that a mother is, and not all mothers are the same, so let's just be real.
Of course, yeah.
Let's level set that there. But it needs nurture, it needs empathy, it needs the hold of a conversation that doesn't sound like robotic. And I think, like, the heart of it is the human vision, and it's the human in the loop. And so really, I might spit out AI to you, but it's backed by my thoughts of how to structure that to make it sound like me.
Yep.
Because I don't want a robot to go out there and be like, this is how you do things, blah, 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 blah. Step one, step two, step three. I want it to be like, no, this is how I speak. This is my tone. This is me as a human. I just know that my grammar sucks and I don't know where to put the commas.
Yep.
Right? Or, like, where to pause or breathe or whatever. And so, like, AI is there, but my heart is in everything that I do with AI.
Yep.
And I think that's where that connection is like, we need to remember that we are humans and we're digesting things that need to relate to us.
Yeah.
And so that's where I would think that.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, hey, like, AI is going to beat me in IQ all day, 100%. But on EQ, I still got it, I think, right? And so when I use AI, I like to think about, when I read it back to me, whatever it is, like, is this how I want to read it? Like, put that human element to it. Is this going to really, like, resonate with me as a person, as an individual? Is it hitting upon my emotions? Is this going to be an empathetic response?
Yep.
Those are key things which AI has not yet mastered, and maybe never will. I don't know. Maybe it will, right? But as of right now, like, that's where, the human element comes into this. Like, putting that human touch onto it, making sure it doesn't sound robotic, doesn't come across as a bot, comes across as this is a person who had a well thought out idea and just polished a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. No, that IQ versus EQ is definitely, like, a big piece. And it's something that we talk about a lot, because I remember last year at Super Meeting, we had a member sit down. We had a panel about how to use AI and things like that. And they raised their hand and, like, well, if we all use AI, aren't we going to end up to, like, if we all ask AI to make us a business plan or a marketing plan, aren't we going to end up with identical marketing plans? And it's like, yeah, if you use it wrong, and you just ask it to, if you don't tell it any information,
you got to give it the prompts and the tactics and the ideas and the concepts, and so it crafts it for you, so it's personal to you, and then it's also personal to the audience you're sending it to as well. Yeah,
you kind of have to give it that EQ. It's not going to have it by default,
exactly,
and you have to kind of infuse it in there, and then continue to monitor it.
Yeah.
AI is an assistant. But it's not an assistant that you get to not manage.
No,
you've got to be on top of it.
It's almost like an employee a little bit, right? You got to make sure it's functioning correctly.
Yeah, and personalization is a huge key inside of the prompt, right? And I think that if we step back and we said, hey, you have one job today, and that is to go to, let's just say ChatGPT. Let's make it easy, right?
Yep.
Or Gemini if it's free for you. I want you to go and brain dump every single thing that is a thought or a vision that you have for a business or for an idea. And it doesn't matter what you think it is. If you think it's, too generic, if it's too whatever, put all of the thoughts that you have in your head, all of the words into just that little place that they say add a prompt.
Yep.
And see what it gives you in return. See if it can understand you from the personalization that you just gave it, and come back to you with something that makes sense. And if not, then you can learn how to filter your words. You can learn how to wordsmith. You can learn how to be the character in your main story. And so like that's what I really think that if you took one thing away from this podcast, just do that. Yeah, right? See where your vision can lead.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely like go out there, try it out, and kind of get in on that because I think that there's something there about like you feel like you're handing over control a little bit and that like, oh, it's not going to be me anymore. It's just going to be the AI. But again, I think that's when AI is used improperly. And I think another thing that's worrying a lot of our members is that they don't know when it's doing good or not doing good. How have you guys seen that as how do we judge the AI as being successful or unsuccessful?
Yeah. So little side note. So I've been playing with ChatGPT for a couple of years now, and so I've built my own like bots and all that stuff and prompts and questions. And my daughter, she's in 8th grade, and so for one of her like papers, she could use ChatGPT not to write it, but to like give it prompts and questions. And so one of the steps in this project, this paper, was that she had to gather data and information from various sources online and then put that into ChatGPT and then ask the right questions to help her get this answer. So unfortunately for my daughter, she chose a Wikipedia article as one of her sources. I have edited my own Wikipedia articles before, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure we've all done that. Not anymore. Yeah. But it was not accurate. And so one thing to be very careful about, think about is like the accuracy of the data going in and coming out. That's really important to make sure it's working for you correctly. Luckily, I graduated 8th grade, and so I knew to look for that information. Like, that's not right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pull it back out. Here's the right stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so like making sure that data there is like it's really important and impactful. It's like that's going to give you like that right story over there. And again, it's again, like you said before, it's a tool as an assistant, right? So you can't just like set it free and go. Like you got to give it guidance, give it guardrails, making sure you're helping guide it towards that right step, that right direction, making sure it's gonna be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've all seen AI go wackadoodle, right?
Oh,
as it's learning, and we've also seen Google search go wackadoodle, right? I mean, it told us to eat glue on pizza. Like we input the output that you all are seeing as marketers on search wherever we are, right? We create the content and then we're like, hey, this is true. So you always have to have guardrails in parameters inside of what your prompts are. For me, I have hallucinations, like what does that look like? I have security, I have compliance, I have all sorts of parameters to not go outside of. However, with new model changes, it's kind of like changing when Google updates their search. It's updated by the microsecond of search, right? Like literally you put in a new search and Google's doing an update. The same things are happening with LLMs. They're changing models, and the models the memory isn't carrying over to the other because that's expensive. And so you can pull it into it now, but it's not just automatically there. So the new model has to train from some of the old data, but then also bring in new data. And so you just have to pay attention. Like there's nothing you can do. It's the same thing with search. You have to pay attention to what's going on in whatever you build. You can't just set it and forget it. And as much as you want to, it's just we are here to guide, to build, to create. But that means that we're also here to hold their hand and guide and create with them.
Yes. Which you guys can do because you guys have both spent a lot of time integrating AI into your own companies. So like you guys know some of the challenges that you go through doing that. Can you share some of the challenges that you guys experienced going through and trying to do this, what we're now asking our members to do? What were the challenges that you faced when you adopted it and started integrating it?
Yeah, well, I think there's a bit of a learning curve sometimes, right? So people are a little bit afraid, like, oh, like I don't know it yet, like, and that's okay. Like it's progress, right? It's a journey, and so getting started off the bat, like, hey, don't let perfect get in the way of good or great right now. Is kind of our mentality a little bit.
Yep, I love that saying. We use it all the time.
It's cliche, I get it, but like it's a really good like fundamental mentality to have. Like, oh, or else you're gonna be stuck, and so you got to keep going forward. And people have to realize, again, AI, it's evolving. Like it's always gonna be changing. Everything digital always changes. And so if you have this understanding that it's a journey, I'm getting better each day, I'm working with each day, and plug it into various places, And it's not perfect today, but that's
Yep.
okay because I'm better than I was yesterday.
Yes.
And so like that's been an interesting progress for us to see over here.
Got it.
Yeah, 1% better every single
Every
day,
day,
right?
yeah.
And nothing is perfection. Like content's not perfection. Products that are being built are not perfection. Because why would you build anything to 100%? Why would we put those expectations on anyone?
Yeah.
Because that's just not a reality. Even in software, you build to 80%.
Yeah.
Right. And that's your MVP because you want to fail forward. You want to learn what they need. You want to learn. And so like learning is a gift and staying curious is a gift.
Yeah.
And so we have learned so much. There have been, our prompts were wrong.
Been there.
Yeah, like and that's what you do, right? You put in all of your words and say, like, what will this curate? Like, what will this create? And if
Yeah.
it creates something totally wonky, that's because like maybe your idea was a little wonky, and that's okay.
User
Yeah.
You
error.
just got to clean it up
Yeah.
and be like, wait, this is not what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And I do that all the time, and sometimes late at night, I even do that when I'm talking to it, and because it's like, wow, like my thoughts were not what they should be structured or real thoughts that humans should have.
Yeah.
So
You know,
it's just
Yeah.
playing. It's
Not real
constantly
thoughts
playing.
that humans should have. We can dig into that maybe a little bit later, but that'll be on the
product,
After
yeah.
Hours podcast, I think. No, I totally know what you're saying, and I feel like we're lucky that we get to live in this time because
Yeah.
it's a weird analogy to make. I was a nerdy kid growing up, so I remember I played a lot of video games, and like people were upset that video games don't come out and they're done. You have to update them all the time and they're constantly getting stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Because before you would put out a game and you wouldn't realize that it was garbage until after it came out and it was too late to change it. You were just stuck with it being bad.
Yeah.
Either that
But-
or we stuck for like years in product development and
Yes.
creation, ideation, like not releasing that.
Right.
And now we have this ability to iterate,
Yeah.
and we can put something out at 80% and be like, you guys go, like figure it out. And it's not
Yeah.
because we're trying to sell you something that's not all the way done. It's because I'm not going to be able to get it to the best it can be without you being there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the human in the loop. That's the great thing is like we still need people to say to us, yeah, no, that doesn't work for us.
Yeah.
Feedback.
Or that's
Yeah.
not,
There's a
that's
constant feedback
it's not what
loop.
we wanted, or this is great, but could you go this direction? And you're like, I never even thought
We
to go
never
that
even
direction.
thought about it. Yeah.
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 Beautiful. Yeah. So this is awesome because I think the main takeaway I have is that like, hey, we're not about to lose our jobs to AI. We're not here, but like it really is opening up our ability to focus on the best parts of our job and to let those tedious parts go through and fall away. So it sounds to me like you guys still feel the value in the human marketer.
Oh, 100%. And again, like it's about making them stronger, powerful, faster, everything. And any adjective you could use, that's what AI is going to do to the individual marketer out there right now.
Yeah.
If you know how to utilize it in the right ways, you're gonna level up your skills exponentially versus someone who doesn't know how to utilize it. And we talk about like a risk of losing job. It's not you losing to AI, it's you losing it to that marketer who knows how to utilize AI.
Mm-hmm.
So
So one big question, or we mentioned it earlier a little bit. I know some of our members are still early on their AI adoption journey, and that they're just trying to, hey, just get into ChatGPT, let it write your emails first, and let's use that as an entry point. But there are these really powerful tools. So for some of our members who are like AI experts, talk to me a little bit about this Atlas thing. What is this?
Yeah, so Atlas is ServiceTitan's new product that is going to be incorporated throughout all of our for all of our pro products. And basically, what it's doing is it's creating personal journeys for the customer and the experience to curate the way that we market to them. Right. And so it's really it's always thinking about the customer first. And it's always thinking about the business and how to monetize, but also remain profitable in what we're doing. So it's going to be looking at the entire customer data experience and serving what is needed to that customer, but also, looking at your capacity, looking at the entire business operations and saying, okay, it's 95 degrees here. We're in San Diego. Nobody's doing anything. They're just kind of enjoying themselves on the beach. How do we get them to activate?
Yeah.
Well, you need a good campaign that's personalized to someone that hasn't had service in a certain amount of time that's automatically going to be populated to you.
Oh, beautiful.
And you'll see that the confirms are built in right now because that's the layer of trust, right? That we need. We need to be like, is this a good decision? But still, when we push a button, like, it's not an easy button to push. There is no easy button in life to push because there's always doubt and fear.
Oh, yeah.
So you can see the latency by the seconds of when they click.
Yep.
And the goal, because the goal of where search is going, a 0-click conversion, that will always be the goal, to where marketing and business operations is done for you.
Yeah, we're trying to make it easy. And yeah, totally agree with that. I think that personalization does build trust. That's what we want. We want to maintain those relationships because I think, again, that it's human nature as these new things come in that we get scared that, like, okay, am I not going to have relationships anymore? AI is going to take over everything. So the relationship is still important. And that personalization of, hey, I do know who you are. I'm going to talk to you like we're a friend. And that really does build that trust.
Right.
So I love that. Now, Jason, for you, I know Scorpion and ServiceTitan are very tight. You guys work very closely together. How does Atlas impact you? How does that work with what Scorpion's got going on?
I think it's a big benefit to the entire industry at large. When someone else gets more in tune with what AI can do for their business for them, that makes them a smarter decision maker. And that levels up their business practices. And maybe they're going to say, hey, you know what? Maybe we actually want more of a hands-on approach over here. Maybe we want to grow over here with an example could be like your production team. I want to create a whole commercial. I see what AI can do from over here. I don't have the ability over here to do that. You could also partner with ServiceTitan on using some of the Atlas programs within, let's say, Marketing Pro. And so like things like that, how can we work with them together on that stuff? So many opportunities in front of us, and I'm really excited about it. So
Beautiful.
I just want to, the last thing I really want to say is that, and it's really important, anyone can use AI. It doesn't matter if you're a small business, if you're a large business, if you are, it doesn't matter whatever the way you define yourself. An ordinary person with an extraordinary perspective can change the world.
Yeah.
And so lean in and lean into others, find communities online that are free. People are out there helping you really understand AI, help automate your business, and lean into knowing that you can build a better business with AI. And be extraordinary because you already are.
Yeah. And it reminds me a lot of like, it's not just the young crowd that is going to be able to do amazing things with it. And it's not that you have to change the world at large. It's these little changes where we'll all be a little bit better. We can be better in our day to day. Even like, hey, I can be more connected with my parents. My kids can be more connected with their grandparents. I spent some time living overseas and the technology helped them stay close with them. They can video chat, stuff like that they would have never had. So these small things that we're doing day to day do make those big changes in the world.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, Sarah, how can people continue to engage with you as we go forward here? How do our members engage with ServiceTitan as we go forward to keep getting content from you?
Yeah, most definitely. So I have our own Facebook group for Marketing Pro in general where we talk about AI and marketing in the trades. So feel free to join that if you have Marketing Pro. You can also find me on LinkedIn, and I have my own podcast, the Trademark Marketing Podcast, where they can learn more about AI and business operations.
Got it. Jason, how about you? How can members continue to engage with you and engage with Scorpion?
Yeah. So one, obviously LinkedIn as well, but I would say through you guys, right? So leverage the marketing coaches themselves, and you guys can speak to a lot of that stuff as well, and kind of guide them to the right direction they want to go. And of course, just visit our website if you want to, of course, and scorpion.co.com. Find us over there.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Any last words before we wrap?
Yeah, just thank you for being a partner with us and leaning in with us, and we just really appreciate you. So thank you so much for having us on.
The feeling's mutual, honestly. Like we feel so great about being able to partner with you guys, and I do think we've the work we do together really does help move the industry forward in ways I didn't think was possible.
No, great to be here, and again, like you clearly have that EQ mastered as well. So thank you for that. Yeah.
You're too kind, too nice. So thank you so much for being here today. Look forward to seeing you around the rest of the event, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.